Welcome back to the Takeout. Leticia James appeared at a campaign rally for New York City mayoral candidate Zohran Mamdani last night, her first public appearance since being indicted by the Trump Justice Department last week. She received a standing ovation, and here's what the New York Attorney General said.
Now I will not bow. I will not break. I will not bend. I will not capitulate. I will not give in. I will not give up.
I am joined by our political panel, CBS News contributors Chuck Rocha and Terry Sullivan. Chuck, that soundbite is not just about the New York City mayor's race. It seems to me a soundbite that is resonant for the posture that Democrats on Capitol Hill have assumed in the shutdown. We're just not going to break, even if the shutdown drags on.
Yeah, and what you saw last night with Leticia is that she wants to run for office. And if you're in New York, you want to be on that stage fighting this president if you want to win a Democratic primary in New York City.
Right, but if she's already a statewide office holder, her statewide ambitions, yes, they'd flow through New York City, but if she's teaming up with a Democratic socialist,
Jeffries hasn't endorsed her yet.
Hadn't endorsed Mamdani.
Mamdani, that's the point. So it's not necessarily, it's the fringe
because there's
of the
upstate
fringe.
New York that you've got to tend to. Remember, Hillary, when she was aspiring to be the senator of New York, she went to upstate first.
Right.
Terry, jump in on that.
Mamdani, whether you like him or you don't like him, had 50,000 people show up in the city of New York. There's a lot of people that live in New York, I give you that, but there's Democrats all over the nation that would love to see some folks, especially kids, show up to volunteer for their campaign like that and give hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah, crazy sells. I mean, newsflash in
right
American politics 2025.
Right and left.
Crazy sells. Yeah, no. And Mamdani has captured that crazy. That doesn't make him any less crazy, and it does marginalize her even beyond. But look, she was always a marginal candidate. When she first ran, she said, Leticia James, when she first ran, she said, I'm going to go after Donald Trump. That was, as Attorney General of New York, I'm going to go. So this has been her shtick. It's always been, she's playing to her base. It's just more of the same from her.
All right, I want to direct your attention both to the governor's races in Virginia and New Jersey. Now, those of you who watch the show, you are keen political observers. You have a sharp eye. So we're just going to roll some polls on the screen. I'm not going to talk about each and every one. I'm not going to name check even one. Look at the numbers, see what the margin of error is if there. We're just going to roll through it. Let's start with Virginia. How do you size up what's going on in Virginia right now, Chuck Rocha?
Look, this is not going to be popular with my Democratic friends, but we should be winning this by 10 points.
And as we roll through the polls, you'll see it's not that.
Right. I've been running campaigns for 36 years. I've been a truth teller in my own party for a long time. And I'll tell you that when Donald Trump got reelected, we should have a 2018 right now. We're not having a 2018. We're running against a flawed candidate in a year we should win by 10, 12.
Winston is the Republican nominee. Yeah.
Absolutely. So we shouldn't be this worried about it. I think it's the same. Look, I've said on this campaign, I've said on this stage before, is that we continue to run the same campaigns thinking there's going to be different results, and it's just not. Yeah. We need to do something different and get back to talking to working class Americans.
Terry, very briefly on Virginia.
Look, Sears is an extremely flawed candidate. I completely agree with Chuck that they should be winning by a bunch more. And she's a terrible candidate who the president hasn't even endorsed.
She was in Newport News with him with the Navy ceremony, right in the front row. He didn't even look at her. Our name checker.
So flawed candidate in a state that has been trending much more blue. She should be, Spanberger should be walking away with it.
All right, we're going to do the same thing because you're keen observers. You've got a great eye, my audience. I love you for that. New Jersey governor's race. We're going to roll the polls, watch them, absorb them, take them in on your own. Jack Ciattarelli, the Republican nominee. Mikey Sherrill, the Democratic nominee. Chuck?
Military veteran, just like you have in Virginia. She served in the Congress. She's not a crazy left wing, crazy right wing. She's
should be farther ahead?
She should be ahead by 15, not 10. It's New Jersey. What you see in New Jersey is a failure of the local party who's really took voters for granted for a long time. That's why you've seen Donald Trump overperform there, because there was no ads, there was no campaign, but he went there at the end and folks made fun of him. And I was like, don't do that, because he's speaking to an anxiety within working people that she needs to make sure she's doubling down on.
Terry?
Yeah, but I also think there's a Mamdani effect here, too.
In New Jersey.
In New Jersey, blowback.
Same media market.
Yeah, same media market. I mean, the majority of voters.
Fears about Mamdani lead to Ciattarelli's support from the lightly attached.
Right. It's like, wait a minute. These people have really jumped the shark here, meaning the Democrats ideologically. And so this is an issue that I think has bled across. But you know what? New Jersey's never been as democratic as
they've elected Republican governors.
They've elected Republican governors, and it always tightens close to the end. So I do think this could be a close race.
So there were several Janet Mills, Susan Collins developments in Maine today, lots of them. First of all, the governor got in the race. Right. The DSCC, the Democratic Senatorial Campaign Committee, put together a joint fundraising thing with her. Graham Plattner, who's the progressive in the race on the Democratic side, assailed the DSCC for getting involved in that. Emily's List backed Janet Mills, and David Hogg's group, the Future Leaders, is with Graham Plattner. There's a lot going on, Chuck. Pull that apart for my audience, if you will, or piece it all together.
Let's go back to what I just said, is the establishment is going to establish. Graham Plattner is an oyster farmer who's never run for office in his life. Look this guy up, Graham Plattner, because he's outside of the norm. And I love this guy because he's not the normal, regular, buttoned-up, college graduate, master's degree.
Consultant-driven.
Talk down your nose at a Democrat. He scares the shit out of regular folks, and that's why I think you're going to see folks in the party doing what they're doing.
Does this give Susan Collins a chance to hold on?
It sure does. I mean, look, you're not going to out Susan Collins, and I think that's what you're going to get with Mills. And so if Democrats want to win there, they've got to be outside the box, and you've got to have authenticity sells. And look, that candidate, from everything I've seen of him, he's an authentic guy, and he seems like it's a bit of a crazy quest.
Authenticity works better, it seems to me, in lower cost media market states or contests.
Or a place like Maine where there's lots of rural folks and lots of folks who there was small manufacturing there for years. I used to work for the paper union. There was a paper mill in every town. Right. It's been destroyed by the outsourcing of jobs, and he's perfect for this state.
And who doesn't believe the United States Senate needs at least one oyster farmer?
That's right.
Chuck Rocha, Terry Sullivan, as always, thank you very much. The candy does not eat itself, so dig